Hi, good evening, everyone. Thanks for being here tonight. This month, November, we have the opportunity to think about how we should be thankful for so many things that we have in our life, so many blessings, and it's also a preparation for Christmas. There is a time of happiness and also a time of reflection and in a way, how can we get better and also be thankful for all those little things that happen to us every single day, every single moment of our lives. So tonight's topic is gratitude. And I would like to start with a poem from the book Our Daily Bread, and the item 61. It was written by Emmanuel Spirit and psychographed by Francisco Cândido Xavier. With Jesus, mankind rises from the darkness into the light, from inertia to service, from ignorance to wisdom, from instinct to reason, from the use of force to righteousness, from selfishness to fraternity, from tyranny to compassion, from violence to understanding, from hatred to love, from deceptive possession to the search of imperishable wealth, from the bloody conquest to edificating renunciation, from extortion to justice, from insensibility to compassion, from the shallow word to creative verb, from monstrosity to beauty, from vice to virtue, from disharmony to harmony, from affliction to contentment, from the swamp to the mount, from filth to glory. So what is gratitude? Before we talk about gratitude, I thought it would be nice for us to have a little understanding of the word. And according to the New Oxford American Dictionary, gratitude means the quality of being thankful, and also means readiness to show appreciation for and to return kindness. I want to start this lecture by saying that we all, of course here, most of us present I know. Some of you I know a little bit more, others I know a little bit, even though maybe I never seen you before. And the same happens when we are in a very crowded place, maybe in a shopping mall or in a supermarket or in the street. We look around and all these people around us, there is one little thing that connects us all. And that is that we all want to be happy. I think there is no denial on that. I think the question for us is how the happiness in our life happens, then we'll differ from one another. But it's already a lot that we have in common. And my topic tonight is gratitude, and I want to make a connection between happiness and gratitude. How is this connection between happiness and gratitude? So according to Joana de Angelis in the book Psychology of Gratitude by Divaldo Franco, she says, happy people remember their past with gratitude. They are happy with their present and they face their future with no fear. So in order for us to start talking about gratitude, let's try to see if you can understand a little bit about happiness. What's the definition of happiness? Happiness is a mental state of well-being characterized by positive or pleasant emotions ranging from contentment to intense joy. Then we can label things that make us happy, like traveling, doing the garden, dancing, singing, playing a favorite sport, cooking, cleaning, fishing, helping others. And then we can talk about activity that bring us happiness. Exercise regularly, being kind to others, socializing, striving for personal goals. And to illustrate a little bit better with the Spiritist philosophy, then I brought two questions from the Spiritist book to illustrate about happiness. And the first question that the Kardec asked the good spirits in 1857 was the question 920. Kardec asked, "Is it possible for a man to enjoy perfect happiness upon the earth?" That's what we aim. But is it really possible? And the answer is no, it's not. Why? Because of the moment in evolution that we're going through. Some of us are here to expiate and others to trial. And then the spirits will say this way, for the corporeal life has been appointed to him means us, men in general, the mankind, either as a trial or an expiation, but it depends upon himself to enlighten the evils of his lot and to render it as happy as life can be upon the earth. That means that we are the beholders of our own happiness. We know that the life that we have here on earth is not an easy life, but that doesn't mean that we have to always be complaining, right? We can make the best out of it. That's what the spirits are saying. Not for us to put our heads down, but to lift our heads up. And doesn't matter what happens, with faith in God, in Jesus, we can keep moving. And another question that Kardec asked the spirits was, Kardec's very methodic. He wants to understand, usually when he makes a question and he gets an answer, with the answer he makes another question. So that's what he asked the spirits again. Okay, we can conceive that man will be happy upon the earth when the human race shall have been transformed. But meanwhile, is it possible for each man to ensure for himself a moderate amount of happiness? Basically, he's saying, okay, we understand that it's not possible to be totally happy at this point. Is it possible to be with a little bit, like a moderate happy? And the spirits will say what? They'll say, man is more often the artisan of his own unhappiness. Basically, he's saying that we suffer because of the bad actions that we do. Because it's basically action-reaction. If you do something good, then you get something good back. And if you do something bad, then you're going to get something bad back. And if you're suffering, everyone should look around and you will understand why you're suffering. Most likely it's something, it was a bad choice, or something that you should not have done, that especially goes against what the God law. Because if you go against the God's law, then it's not God's fault that you're suffering, it's basically your own fault. And to close with the Spirit's book, Kardec will comment, much of the unhappiness of human life is a result of the undue importance attached by men to the things of this world. Vanity, disappointed ambition, cupidity make up no small part of these troubles. So Kardec is saying here that we suffer sometimes because we put our faith in things that has no value, especially money, greed, material things that we can take with us when we go to the spiritual world. So we should try to have good choices so we can improve our moral quality, so we can take those to the spiritual world when we have to go back. So going back to happiness, reasons to be happy. So we can name a few, but we can be talking a full hour of what are the reasons that makes our life a bit happier here. We should be happy because we are alive, because our family, friends, job activities that we have, people that like us, our beautiful planet. And as spiritists, we believe that we are spirits in evolution, and our time in this planet is a great opportunity to improve ourselves, and one day all of us will reach perfection, like Jesus. One day, day by day, making the right choices, we're gonna one day get to perfection, because we have no choice. That's the path. But let's go back a bit. How is the connection between happiness and gratitude? After I spoke a little bit about happiness, let's go back to think about gratitude. Many people say that's very easy to explain. When you're happy, you are grateful. But think again. Is it only the happy people that are grateful? What do you think? Well, I know quite a number of people who have everything that is possible to be happy, like money, they have the best car of the year, they have a good life, they have health, but they are not happy. They're just living by. They appear to be happy, but they are not. And on the other hand, we have a lot of people that have a lot of misfortune. Misfortune that we don't want to have. But they are very happy. They're always smiling. They radiate happiness. Are you surprised? Why? Why there are those two types? Excuse me. Those two types of personalities. The answer to this question is because both of them, maybe the part that had the misfortune, they're grateful, even when they're having difficulties, and that radiate happiness. So it's not happiness that makes us grateful, but it's gratefulness that makes us happy, right? Because otherwise everybody will be happy, right? I think it's like just a connection that we can make out of this. Does it make sense? So it's gratefulness that makes you happy. Now we can ask, what do we really mean by being grateful? Let's try to see if you can understand what's to be grateful. How does it work? At this point, I'm going to approach for our daily experiences, trying to illustrate a little bit better. We all know from experience how it goes. We experience something that's very valuable to us. Something is given to us that is valuable to us, and it's really given. These two things have to come together. Let's think this way. I'm going to try to illustrate a little bit better. It has to be something valuable, and it has to be something like a gift. You haven't bought it. You haven't earned it. You haven't traded it in. You haven't worked for it. It's just been given to you. And when these two things come together, something that's really valuable to me, I realize it's freely given, then gratefulness happens in my heart. That's how gratefulness happens. Now, the key to all of this is that we can only have experienced this once in a while. We cannot have it all the time. Because the reason is because we don't know how to be grateful all the time. That's something that we have to learn. It's like a learning process. Our goal should be to experience gratitude for everything that happens in our life. We should be thankful to everything, everyone, somehow that's part of our life. Be thankful for good and also to be thankful for the bad things that happen, because that bad thing are part of our spiritual evolution. We can be people that live gratefully, and grateful living is the thing. Question: how can we live a grateful life? By experiencing, by becoming aware that every moment is a given moment, as we say. It's a gift. Every little moment in our life is a gift. We haven't earned it, because some people don't live in the moment, just live in the future. And the life goes by. When they realize the whole life is gone. Again, you haven't brought it about in any way. So you have no way of assuring that there will be another moment like that little moment in your life that's given to you again in the same certain of way. And yet, that is the most valuable thing that can ever be given to us. This moment with all the opportunities that it contains. If we didn't have this present moment, we would not have any opportunity to do anything, like experiencing anything. And this moment is a gift. It's a given moment, as we say. Now, we say that the gift within the gift is really the opportunity. What we should really be grateful is for the opportunity that we get with every little thing, moment that is happening in our life. Not the thing that is given to you, because if the thing were somewhere else and you didn't have the opportunity to enjoy it, to do something with it, you will not be grateful for it. Opportunity in this case is the gift within the gift. So you get the moment and you get the opportunity. I'm sure you all heard the say, opportunity knocks only once. Right? Have you heard that? Opportunity knocks only once. Well, think again. Because if that moment passed, then you're going to get another moment, and then you're going to get another opportunity. Right? Then you have every moment an opportunity to do good, and another moment, opportunity again to do good or to do bad. It's just a question of choice. We can avail ourselves to this opportunity, or we can miss it. If we avail ourselves of this opportunity, that is the key for happiness. To avail ourselves to the opportunities to behold the master key to our own happiness, in our own hands, moment by moment. We can be grateful for the gift of this little moment. Does that mean that we can be grateful for everything? Every little moment that's going to happen in our life, can we be grateful for? That's the trick. Because the answer that Joana de Angelis gives us is, yes, we can. And then you can stop and think, my God, I'm suffering today. Should I be thankful for that as well? Well, remember what I said, moment by moment. Every moment have an opportunity. And then it's your choice. And I'm going to illustrate what Joana de Angelis says about this. And she says, yes. Because there is where we start our training to become a grateful person, or to be a grateful people as a society as well. And so, can we be grateful every single moment? And Joana de Angelis says, yes, everything that happens, even the ones that result in unpleasant sensation or disturbing feelings, belong to experiences that improve the human being. So basically, if something bad is happening to us, that will contribute to our growth and for us also to become a better person. The lucid comprehension that everything has a relevant moral and psychological meaning provides inner harmony, working to overcome the difficult situation in order to reach plenitude. In addition to that, she continues, gratitude for everything that happens must be always the emotional and mental attitude of all human beings. So, according to Joanna de Angelis, real gratitude is a much deeper feeling. We can be grateful in every moment for the opportunity, and even when we are confronted with something that's very terrible, difficult. We can rise to this occasion and respond to the opportunity that is given to us. We might even say, it's not as bad as it might seem. There is no storm that will last forever. And the next morning there's going to be always a sunshine. Actually, when we look at it and experience it, you will find that most of the time what is given to us is the opportunity to enjoy, and we only miss it because we are rushing through life. And we are not stopping to see those little opportunities. But once in a while, something very difficult is given to us. It's a challenge to rise to that opportunity. And we can rise to that opportunity by learning something which sometimes is very painful. To say thank you when you're suffering is not an easy thing. It's a journey that we all have to, at some point, get through. Learning patience, for instance, is not something easy. And it's a daily chore, a daily chore. And we have been told that the road to peace is not a sprint, but it's more like a marathon. We have to conquer every single day if we want a better world for our children. That takes patience. That's difficult. But those opportunities and those who avail themselves to those opportunities are the ones that we admire. Those people that going through a lot, we know they are suffering, but they're still smiling. That beautiful, irradiate energy in their smile, and we don't understand why they are so happy. That are the people that we admire. Oh my God. And they make something out of life. And those who fail, they get another opportunity, like I'm saying. Like, if you fail, then you get another opportunity. That's a wonderful thing. That is the richness of life. That we always, moment after moment, we're going to have a new opportunity. So how can we find a method for us to learn all these tricks that I'm trying to teach tonight? How can each one of us find a method for living gratefully? Not just once in a while be grateful, but moment by moment to be grateful. How can we do it? I started to research on this question because it's a question that I was doing for me during the time that I was preparing for this lecture. And I came across a monk that wrote a book. That's the book that he wrote. It's called, his name is David Stanrast, and the name of the book is Gratefulness, the Heart of a Prayer. And that's very interesting method that he teaches. How can we be grateful every single moment in our life? According to him, the method is so simple that is actually what we are told as children when we're supposed to cross the street. And when we're children, we teach the kids, first you stop, you look, and then you go. And that's what he's going to go. It's a very interesting, it's not within the Spiritist philosophy, but I thought it was very helpful for us to illustrate the topic a little bit. a little bit more with something that is actually that we can understand, so you can try to see if you can grasp the concept of being grateful. Question, but how often do we stop? We teach the kids to stop, look, and go, right? But how often do we stop in our lives? It's a very interesting question, right? Because we're always on the go. We don't stop. And what he's saying is, because we don't stop, we miss the opportunity. All those little opportunities in the moments that we give, this big giving to us, we lose the opportunity. So when I read that and I went through that in the book, I thought like when I was 19 in South Brazil. At that time, I was in my second year. I was studying to be a priest, and then we went in July to Santa Catarina, which is a cold state. I think in winter over there is sometimes it's even below 30 degrees Fahrenheit when we get here. So this is pretty cold for me. It was my first experience, and the idea was for us to do community service and spend 2 weeks with them with the MST, which is they are families in Brazil. They are very poor. They don't have a land. They're actually trying to get land that's available to plant and live like that. So it was a very 2 weeks. It was very intense because I didn't have a shower, and we had to shower on the lake, and it was cold, and there was no the basic means of living. We didn't have that. So when we lack the basics for our daily, like cooking with the clean utensils, or even access to clean water, then when you come back, you start to appreciate a little bit more. And you stop taking those little things that's ready available for us, take those things for granted, and you start to appreciate. Especially, oh my God, how it's good to have a hot shower. It was very good. I never thought it was that great at that moment. And I did appreciate a lot. So basically what he's saying to us is that stopping sometimes. He goes a little bit farther. It's too crazy. I'm not going to go in there. He says like for us to start sticking stop signs in everything that we usually appreciate. So things that we usually take for granted. I think that that's an interesting way, but we don't need to go that farther. I think if we look around ourselves, and there's so many things that we sometimes we take for granted, especially in this country, that we have available everything to us. And sometimes we don't even say a prayer saying how thankful you are to have that, to be able to drive to your work because you have a car, or to a shower, to have a warm shower. And that's the first step on that book. And the second step is to look. And now is a very interesting thing, because he says in the book for us to open our eyes, to open our ears, our senses, so we can start to understand and to live at the present moment. And that's a challenge. And he says that when we do that, start to smell things, listening to the nature, or enjoy a good meal, or all those little things that is related to our senses, we start to enjoy what is given to us. And then we can also open our hearts for the opportunities, because in our material world, what we can relate to is through our senses. So if you start living that way, then we can start to understand the opportunities when they happen, and then start to open our hearts for the opportunity to help others through the senses. It's a very interesting way. And also, he says that because we can help others this way, and because nothing makes us more happy than when we're helping others and we look at their face and we see a smile. And I can relate to that. Sometimes it's very nice. There's something that we do for the others that you don't expect anything in return, and they have a beautiful smile, and that's priceless. And that's a very interesting approach to gratefulness. So when we open our hearts to the opportunities invite us to do something. And that's the third topic that's in the book, to go and to do something about it. And to do what? It could be anything. Life will show you every single day opportunities for you to get outside of your comfort zone and do something to the others. Sometimes it's something like maybe it's 2 minutes of your time to give somebody a direction to go somewhere instead of, oh, I don't have time, right? Or it's to help to hold the door open to someone, or to give back the cart in the supermarket to the right position where the cart should go. Or, oh, it's raining. But it's okay, you're not made of sugar, right? So it should not be a problem, right? You can get sick. I know you can get sick any time, but there are many excuses that you can go on and on why we don't do things that we're supposed to do. But that's the third thing. Go and do something. Isn't it the same thing that Jesus said to us, right? And then to illustrate that, I brought somebody that we all know, right? And she's very, oh my God, I have so much trouble with this. Mother Teresa, she is very special to us because of the faith and the actions that she put behind the faith. And she said the following: faith in the action is love, and love in action is service. By transforming that faith into living acts of love, we put ourselves in contact with God Himself, with Jesus our Lord. It's so beautiful and so powerful, right? It's interesting. That's a little bit, again, that's in his book. It's outside of the Spiritists, but we can relate to that, right? I think we can relate that faith and love and action, it's something that should be all in the same plate, right? Right? Now in the book Psychology of Gratitude, Joana de Angelis brings a little short story about a businessman that he used to go to that deli every single day to get a newspaper. And the guy that was working behind the counter there used to throw the newspaper at the guy and not even say thank you to the business. Right? And the businessman continued to go there every single day, day after day, months after months, and he was not bothered by the insult. And then a certain day, a guy at the deli noticed that the guy was the same guy, at the same time going back again and again. The guy would throw the newspaper to him and he would pay, and he never complained to the owner or anything. And he asked him, why you keep coming back? This guy is being so rude to you. And then he said the following: it's very simple. I don't allow his bad manners to affect my behavior. I'm too grateful for my life to let something small like that to interfere in my happiness. So this is a little example of to go and to do it. Because this happens all the time in our lives. Like somebody is bugging us, or we think that they do things on purpose just to make us angry. Or we are not being appreciated for something and we should be more appreciated for that. And this guy, that's in the book, Psychology of Gratitude. I think everybody should read the book. It's a very interesting book. And so basically, Joana de Angelis says the following: the bad doesn't affect the good, which is the antidote. So basically, the good is the antidote for any bad behavior. It's very powerful. It's simple but powerful. If you don't get anything from this lecture tonight, maybe try to focus on that. So basically, it doesn't matter what people do to us, if it's bad things. What matters is how we react to other people and the circumstances in our life. So this is an example of go and do it. Most of the go and do it is the opportunity to enjoy each moment. Like this guy, he was going back, he didn't care about the insult. He was enjoying the moment that he had with his newspaper, instead of being angry at the guy that was mistreating him. So this simple method, stop, look, and go, is such a potent seed that it can revolutionize our world. There is a wave of gratefulness because people are becoming aware how important it is and how this can change our planet. It can change our world in immensely important ways. Because if you are grateful, you are not fearful. If you are not fearful, you're not violent. If you are grateful, you act out of a sense of enough and not of a sense of scarcity. And you are willing to share. If you are grateful, you are respectful to everybody. What we need is a network of small groups like this. Smaller groups who know one another, who interact with one another. That's a grateful world. A grateful world is a world of joyful people. People are becoming aware that a grateful world is a happy one. Joanna de Angelis recommends that we exercise our gratitude at every little moment. And she will say, even in the beginning, we are grateful because we know we should be. And even it feels almost like an obligation at the beginning. So normally we start by feeling the need to return the favor when we receive something. But by exercising gratitude, we will feel the need of positive contribution to others. In other words, the need to do charity. So basically she's saying, by practicing, something did something good to you, then you return the good back. That's a very good practice, because she's saying, although you're doing that because you feel obligated, because okay, somebody did this good thing for me, so I have to do this. But just by that little action, you're creating a movement around yourself, and that is what she's calling the need for us to help others is in relation to the need to do charity. And as we know, the only thing that can save us, that put us in a better place, is to do charity, because that is a direct action of love. And it came from Christ himself. So the gratitude for his wonderful quality of making us perceive people as more beautiful and better. That's what she's saying. She's saying, like, with this connection, somebody do something good for you, you do something back, good back. And this will create this quality of a sense to perceive people as more beautiful. Just this little thing of giving back the good that you receive. And I would like to read right now the recipe of happiness. I don't know if everybody knows the story. It's from this book, Jesus in the Home. It's a very, very beautiful book. There are many, many stories that I would recommend. This in particular is item 19, because it talks about happiness and we talk about gratitude, and I thought it was a very good fit for us. Basically, those little stories happen at Peter's house, and this one is about Tadeusz. Tadeusz, one of the most passionate speakers during the gospel services at Peter's house, was enthusiastically discussing the rules of human happiness and was speaking out against the Roman conquerors and the rabbis of the council. In the grips of such obvious rebelliousness, he spoke at great length about the discord and suffering that reigned among the people, placing the blame of political shortcomings. After he had expounded several valuable opinions on the subject, Jesus asked him, Tadeus, what is your idea of happiness? Lord, happiness is peace for all. Christ displayed a meaningful expression on his face, and he offered. Yes, Tadeus, I am aware of that. However, I would like to know what would make you personally truly happy. With certain amount of hesitation, the disciple replied, Master, I think I would experience supreme tranquility if others could understand me. For that to happen, I wish that those close to me wouldn't disdain my noble and pure intentions. I know that I make a lot of mistakes because I'm human. But I would be happy if those who are part of my life would acknowledge my sincere intentions of doing the right thing. I would experience blessed joy if I could trust others and receive from them the fair consideration that I feel I deserve because of my high ideals. I long for everyone's respect so that I can work without hindrances. I would be delighted if slander were to forget about me. I live hoping for cordiality from others, and I think that the world would be a paradise if people who treat the same path would treat each other with the same respect with which myself would like to be treated. Indifference and malicious lies wound my heart. I believe that sarcasm and suspicion were invented by the spirits of darkness to torment people. Ungodliness is like bile when directed at me. Cruelty is a phantom of pain when it comes out to me. Because all of this, I would be happy if my family members, close friends, and fellow citizens would regard me not for what I appear to be due to imperfection of my body, but rather for the amount of goodwill that I believe I have in my soul. Most of all, Lord, I would be extremely happy if all those with me on life journeys would grant me the right to freely experience my own kind of personal happiness, as long as I abide by the code of good in the field of my conscience, without irony and irrelevant criticism. In short, Master, the blessed recourse of suffering and time, I would like to be understood, respected, and held in esteem by others, even though I may not yet be the model of perfection they heaven would like me to be. The disciple stopped talking and displayed an obvious curiosity about what Christ would say about the matter. Some of his companions expected the heavenly friend to make a long speech, but the Master affixed his crystal clear eyes on the disciple and said frankly yet kindly, Tadeus, if you desire happiness and contentment from the entire world, do unto others as you would have them unto you. If everyone would follow that rule, we would very quickly spread the glories of heaven across the earth. So that's the invitation that Jesus makes to us. So instead of us complaining, or instead of us asking the world to be a better world for me to live in it, instead I think you have to rephrase it. Let's be a better person so the world can be a better place. So that's the invitation that Jesus makes to us tonight. And that's the golden rule, right? Do to others whatever you would like them to do to you. This is the essence of all that is taught in the law and the prophets. To sum up tonight's lecture, I would like to say thank you to all of you here tonight. Sitting here today with such eager eyes, some of you are tired, other of you are have very bright minds, that sometimes I feel intimidated to be here talking about something so deep and without experience, like I don't have much. But I'm pretty sure that I'm truly confident in the potential that every single one of you here tonight, the unlimited potential to change our community and to change our world at large. And for that, I'm very thankful. Thank you so much for listening and for being open to these new ideas and experiences, and to take what you heard here today and go and do it, like we said during the lecture today, and put in action little things, maybe a little minute of your time to help whoever is around you. Look around yourself, those opportunities happen minute by minute, moment by moment. I really want us to think about those people in our lives that we appreciate, at home or at your work, everywhere surround your lives. Those we have gratitude for, those people we are thankful for, whether it's a best friend that you have known for years, maybe it's a loved one, or maybe someone that you have hold the door today, or that person hold the door for you to come in here tonight. So, and let's start, like Joanna D'Angeli said, by when we receive something good, let's give something good back, because that's the beginning. And for that, I'm very grateful, and thank you so much for having me tonight. Thank you.